Hello, friends. Loki is feeling a little frisky today and wants to go get in his bed, so I'm going to let him go. But people will complain in the comments if I don't have Loki in James's Gyms of the Week. So here's the latest. Let's get right to it. In this video series, I, James Stevenson, take you through every tweet that I have liked on Tesla Twitter over the past week and explain to you why I liked it. It's okay, Loki, as he flops down in bed. All right. So without any ado at all, here we are. So this was the last tweet that we featured last week from September 2nd from Noppenlois. I await Moody's downgrade of Apple to junk status on the basis that half their revenue comes from the iPhone, a larger fraction than any Tesla model, something they introduced in 2007. What? They upgraded it regularly since then? Oh, you don't say. Just picking apart the logic that Moody's used in their letter back to Alexandra about why they haven't upgraded Tesla to investment grade yet. They said Tesla doesn't make enough products, and the ones that they're selling now have been on the market for a while. Well, those are super lame arguments, as pointed out here. Okay, so that was last week's episode. To kick off this week's episode, we've got a tweet a lot of people liked here from Troy Teslike. The Tesla China team is expected to deliver more than 100,000 cars this month, September. This will be a new record. The highest month last year was 71K in December. The highest month so far this year was 78K in June. So good to see Tesla China ramping up to big delivery numbers, all-time records. That one might have been in last week's episode as well, because this still says September 3rd. So maybe I'm off by a couple here, because there were a bunch of these awesome tweets that I liked. So maybe this is the next tweet that I liked from September 3rd, from @eShrek041 on Twitter. I present the Tesla community the Bob Ross of Tesla charts at I cannot underscore enough per our interaction the other day. So we did have a little back and forth reply, and well, you have to give this tweet a like, right? I wasn't the only person who liked it. We got another 498 people who liked it as well. So thought this was amusing. So that got a like from me. The next tweet that I liked came from Daryl at Daryl97437816 on Twitter. I went out and spent $250 Canadian to buy all the ingredients and make my wife, Jules KW White, and I the Elon Musk and drink them on our deck for a Labor Day weekend drinky. Wonderful drink. Thank you for the suggestion. Cheers. So here's the photo of the Elon Musk beverage that they drank. And Elon Musk is mostly 7-Up, but there is so it's mostly this ingredient. The U, the 7-Up ingredient, is more than half of what's in the glass. But this is the other stuff in an Elon Musk Everclear Limoncello. Orange liqueur, you can use triple sec, or you can use Grand Marnier or Cointreau. New Amsterdam gin, Malibu rum, Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, and Kettle One vodka is how you make an Elon Musk. In case you're curious how to make those, if you have all the ingredients, feel free to make one. Don't drink more than one of those per day. This is a serious beverage, so you're going to want half an ounce each of those liqueurs, and then about 7 ounces of 7-Up. That's how you make an Elon Musk. So if you want to comment below after drinking your first Elon Musk, feel free. Be forewarned that if you bring that recipe with you to a bar, bartenders in some states will not be permitted to sell you one, even if they have all the ingredients. That's a lot of liquor in one glass. Okay, and I have gone to the top of the thread now, so I have to scroll back down again. Oh, these are my notifications. I really got lost. Alright, so let me come back to the likes and scroll down from here. Sorry for making you dizzy scrolling. I'll stop scrolling when I get there. I liked a lot of tweets. Okay, so here is that Elon Musk glass. Jules commented they are very smooth and go down very easy. So give one a try if you are an adult. If you are not an adult, wait until you're 21 to, or if you're in Europe, comply with your local laws on drinking alcoholic beverages. All right. Next, a tweet from the Short Shorts historian at Tesla Historian. This day in Tesla Q history, hey Brad Munkin, this tweet of yours from 2 years ago was an epic failure. And here's the screenshot. Yeah, that does get bigger if I click it. Tesla is the first car maker I know that's building a plant in Germany to make old models. Normal car makers use new plants for new models. Normal car makers use new plants for new models because normal car makers already have factories on the continent where their buyers are. So Legacy Auto... I was going to say something about the Wolfsburg plant and its opening date, and I'm not going to say that. When the Grünheide plant opens in 2022, the Model 3 will be 5 years old, and the Model Y will be 3 years old. This will be an epic failure. Hashtag TeslaQ. If you want to guess at the remark I was going to make about the Wolfsburg Volkswagen vehicle assembly plant still in use today, feel free to Google the opening day photos. All right. Next, a tweet from Dutchy Wiegans on Twitter. The wide breadth of their product offerings, with an eye-rolling emoji here. What are we talking about? A tweet from the accountant at CPA in NYC on Twitter, asking Alexandra, why does Moody's get an investment grade rating? So if we click on this screenshot, this shows a comparison between Moody's, the corporation, they are a for-profit corporation, by the way, and Tesla over here. So let's see how much free cash flow these companies have. So over the trailing 4 quarters, it looks like Moody's has about $1.3 billion worth of free cash flow. Tesla has about $7 billion worth of free cash flow, and in its lowest quarter had more free cash flow than Moody's had in its highest quarter. Next we have gross debt. Moody's debt exceeds Tesla's debt, about $8 billion for Moody's, about $4 billion for Tesla, so roughly half as much gross debt. Cash and cash equivalents, Moody's is less than $2 billion worth of cash. Tesla nearly $20 billion worth of cash and cash equivalents. Net cash here for Tesla is a positive number, $14.5 billion when you add these two together. When Moody's adds their two together, they get net debt of $6 billion. But if we look at the debt ratings here, Moody's has rated Tesla junk at a BA1 grade, while Fitch has rated Moody's BBB plus investment grade. So that's a story that tells itself. And Dutchy Wiegans has brought back into the discussion what Moody's complaint about Tesla was, that they make most of their money from 2 models. Well, Moody's, what do you make most of your money from? Do you have a wide breadth of product offerings? Moody's does not. All right. So the next comment that I liked is from Alexandra here. Oh yes, you were right. Lots of letters, A, B, and C, and now also E, S, and G. What are we talking about here? Well, that was her reply to the question of whether Moody's has a wide breadth of product offerings. Yeah, they have a lot of letters. They can give you A's, B's, and C's. They've been handing those out for 100 years. And now they also offer E, S, and G, this of course referring to ESG ratings, environmentality, sustainability, and governance, which is a huge scam by Moody's and S&P intended to deceive investors into thinking that they're investing in companies that are good for the environment. They are happy to let investors think that a high ESG score means that this company is doing good things for the planet, while what is actually happening is companies are grading their own homework, answering the question, how sustainable is this company? Not for the planet, but for its own assessment of how it's doing on environmentality, sustainability, and governance. So watch Alexandra's videos on that topic. She goes into a lot more depth with it than I can. The next tweet that I liked came from Kim Paquette, at Kim Paquette on Twitter. Whoop whoop, FSD beta 10.69.1.1 did it again. This time I was filming. Beta waits its turn to unprotected left turn across 4 lanes and makes an immediate right. Legit. Hashtag Tesla, and then tags Elon Musk. Let's watch this vehicle.
Okay, I can go now. Go. Go do it. Do it. Do it. You can do it. Holy shit, it's doing it! Oh, sorry for the language. Oh my gosh. Like, you guys, that is the second time I've come through, and it's the second time it got it. Wow.
All right, so a really good tweet there. Really good tweet. If I can get out of this now.
All my drives today, I am blown away, y'all. Blown away. All right, I'm going to the grocery store. See you next time.
All right, so I will get out of here now. There it is. I just have to be careful how I exit this stuff because I want to make sure I don't back out too far. Okay, the next tweet that I liked came from JPR007 on Twitter. Now here's the thing, if these credit ratings that you want are so difficult to find, does anyone really care about them? Now there's only 2 likes in this tweet, so I'm glad I can bring some awareness to what's going on here. So here's where this thread began. All OEMs have markedly more debt than cash and equivalents. I'm no expert, but maybe I or someone can make a chart comparing all of them, total debt, total cash, and equivalents for each OEM. And he's retweeting Drew Dixon here at Albert Bridge Cap. This indeed includes all the net debt. This indeed includes all the debt. Net debt is total automotive / industrial gross debt minus total gross auto / industrial cash. Nearly all manufacturers have markedly more cash than debt, so their net debt is negative, aka they have net cash. I said sounds like a job for JPR007. Kathy Kitchler chimed in, trying to finish a new chart and needs some help answering 2 questions. Missing all that published info I had access to at work. How many S&P 500 firms have an S&P rating of BBB? How many have BBB minus? Appreciate any info or contacts. And this is where JPR chimed in with the list of the top S&P 500 corporations by credit rating. You can find this on seekingalpha.com, as JPR did. And he also found at wikirating.com a list of corporations by credit rating. And so there's the tweet that we came in with. I'll follow this link through and try to bring this up. Let me create a new window to do this that I can drag over and right on top, like so. Just drop this on here. There it is. And we'll let this load up. So if I change the ratings here so that they go in descending order from best rating to worst rating, you'll see there are not a lot of companies getting top box ratings. Like Johnson & Johnson gets a AAA rating, and they're the only one. The only one rated all the way at the top, AAA, by the ratings agencies. Then you have Apple, very close, nipping at their heels. Fannie Mae, the Federal National Mortgage Agency, maybe, is what that stands for. So it's a U.S. government agency that issues loans. Then we have Microsoft, Alphabet, parent company to Google, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Walmart, all with excellent credit ratings here. Berkshire Hathaway, of course, J.P. Morgan, yeah. So these are the companies that have really high ratings. How far down this list do we need to go? Well, we need to go past Toyota. Got to keep scrolling down the list. Past Honda. Let's see. Past Daimler. And Facebook and Sony. Past General Motors. Before we can get to Tesla. Here's Tesla, way down here at B+. So this is almost the bottom of the list of notable companies, with only SAIC, Pinduoduo, and Pacific Construction Group, Chinese companies, rated worse than Tesla. That's it. Everybody else has a better credit rating, according to these credit rating agencies, and that's extremely silly. So that's the information that JPR shared before saying, if these are so hard to find, does anyone really care about them? All right, back we go. And up past those tweets that we just discussed to the next tweet I liked from the Short Shorts historian at Tesla Historian. This day in Tesla Q history 3 years ago, one of the many Tesla Model S killers was revealed. With a tweet from Tesla Charts here, September 4th, 2019. Behold the death of the Tesla Model S. Well, I haven't looked recently to see how many Porsche Taycans are being sold, but I betcha it's way less than the number of Model S's being sold these days. So Tesla has not been killed by the Porsche Taycan. The rumors of Tesla's death have been greatly exaggerated. And another tweet here, this day in Tesla Q history, I wish I could be as good at looking at Tesla's numbers as Porter here at SeaWolfCap 3 years ago. So here's Porter Collins tweeting, those who actually are looking at Tesla's numbers know that the story is over. The S, which is their best car, deliveries are down 60%. The structurally unprofitable Model 3 deliveries are down 26%. Growth story is officially over, and they can't and never will make money. Hashtag Tesla Q. So, SeaWolfCap may have called that one a little early. May have called it early. All right, the next tweet here from Emmett Peppers, at Emmett Peppers on Twitter. Decided to become Patreon for James before at Martin Vieca poaches Elon's favorite analyst to work for Tesla IR. So Emmett was very, very kind to send out a tweet retweeting the link to my Patreon page where if you would like to go support my efforts, you can do that. Hey, I should probably be able to see what I'm doing. Let me bring back up my recording window. Okay, there I am. So yeah, I've got a Patreon page. If you would like to support my efforts and if you value my content and would like to show your appreciation in more ways than just watching the occasional YouTube commercial, I have a Patreon page you can go check out. It's linked in my Twitter profile. If you want to go find it. Alexandra Mertz also said, just signed up and recommend you do too. It's an honor to support. at @ICannot_enough on Patreon. Keep on delivering us the best, James, which is a very kind thing to say. So I like that tweet. The next tweet that I liked came from K10 at Kristen Netton. Seriously, one of the coolest videos on the Falcon rocket landing on a SpaceX drone ship. So, yeah, check it out. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so I like that tweet. Next tweet from Earl of Frunk Puppy. Well, I was wrong. The competition arrived and Tesla is gone. Let's see what Earl is talking about here. So, best of green speed. You don't need gas to speed past the competition. So what do we have here? Well, we've got probably one of these must be a Porsche Taycan, right? Maybe an Audi e-tron, maybe an electric Hummer back here. At least one of those has been sold to General Motors CEO Mary Barra. We got a Nissan here, so some kind of an electric Nissan vehicle. No Teslas to be found in the Best of Green Speed collection from Hot Wheels. Next, a tweet from Robert Scoble at Scobleizer on Twitter. Everything as a service will make Tesla trillions. I am fully engaged. Plus, when I was one of the first to see autonomous vehicles, I thought I would never see it in my lifetime. My car drove my family for hours today. Science fiction in my garage. So that was in response to Whole Mars Catalog tweeting, there is so much to be excited about. So I like that tweet. Next we have a tweet from Shorty Airfarce. Step 1, stop taking advice from Tesla charts. Oh wait, TC was sick of being wrong and went into Twitter witness protection. Never mind. But at least you got RIP Tesla Q correct. So this is a reference to Tesla charts for a very long time, the literal ringleader of the Tesla Q movement on Twitter, I think has sent 3 tweets this year, something like that, and possibly none since March. So Tesla charts may have gone into hiding to some degree. But what did John Engel say at Almington Cap on Twitter? A longtime Tesla hater, tweeted, then the Model 3 demand story finally died. Steady state demand rate is far below the 5,000 per week Musk has claimed the North American market could absorb. Relatively soft demand in the EU and China compounds the conclusion that the Model 3 is demand constrained as of April 2019. Well, we've seen a whole lot of sales growth for Model 3 since April of 2019. John concluded his thread, in sum, RIP $35,000 Model 3, we hardly knew you. Perhaps you succeeded in your duty of pulling in reservation cash, we'll see. P.S. Other things died today too. RIP Tesla mass market growth story. So Tesla has the number 1 and number 2 selling vehicles in the state of California, and the number 1 and number 2 electric vehicles globally with Model Y and Model 3. RIP Shanghai production narrative, RIP hashtag Tesla Q. So this is the funny bit that Shorty Airfarce remarked on at the end. Okay, so what's the next thing we have here from Matt Smith at MattChasmMatt on Twitter? Your logic and hair are much better than his. Also, this is one of my all-time favorite exchanges. Well, what are we talking about at all here? Let's scroll up and take a look. So John tweeted, if Elon put as much effort into building reliable EVs as he does selling vaporware, Tesla would have a lot fewer problems. And I couldn't resist the urge to reply, asking this you, sharing a couple of screenshots from John Ingle's article in May of 2018 titled, "We May Never See a Mass Market Model 3." So actually the first episode I ever made of Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today was about this article from John Ingle. So I remember it well. Let's see. The most fun line from these bullets here: luxury models carry higher margins but have a very limited market. Tesla may have flopped with its first mass market car. John was already willing to say in 2018, at the beginning of the ramp up of Model 3 production, he was ready to put the nails in the coffin already for Tesla. So that's the first exhibit. Then the next exhibit here comes from the San Francisco Chronicle. This is dated August 9th of 2022. With the headline, "The best-selling car in California is the Tesla Model Y. Here are the other top models." And then if you dig into the body of this article, 2 Tesla models are the top-selling new cars in California so far this year. Marker of continued growth for electric vehicles in the state, according to a new report from the California New Car Dealers Association. So this report was not from Tesla. Tesla didn't tell us that they have the 2 top-selling vehicles in California. The California New Car Dealers Association did, based on vehicle registrations with the state of California. So you can say Tesla cooks the books if you want to, I guess. You can say all the numbers that Tesla reports are fake if you want to, but in this case we have registrations in the state of California proving that people are buying more of Tesla's 2 top-selling vehicles than they are of any model vehicle made by any competitor. So those are the facts. I wouldn't characterize that as being a flop at an attempt at a mass market car. So that's what I said, and then John Ingle replied, "Long time no see." And I had to reply again with this you. Let's take a look at these. So here's a tweet John sent on December 27th of 2019. "A new and cheaper crossover may expand Tesla's addressable market somewhat, but the Model Y lacks the size necessary to take as big a bite out of the SUV market as bullish analysts have hoped." With a reply here from Vercovicium. "Myself and Tesla Chart, amongst others, were correct. This is nothing but a Model 3 with a raised ride height and some additional rear bodywork." Yeah, so what's the next exhibit here? This is the article that John was retweeting that he wrote, stating the SUV market is much larger than the sedan market, yet the Model Y is too small to contend outside of the narrower crossover set. The lack of meaningful differentiation from the Model 3, especially on seating capacity, creates risk of cannibalization rather than market expansion, meaning, sure, Tesla could sell some Model Ys, but only at the expense of selling fewer Model 3s, is what John was arguing here. Tesla is priced for breakneck growth. Its product lineup and production capacity do not support this narrative. So John was sure that Tesla would not be able to succeed in selling very many Model Ys and Model 3s, yet they are the 2 top-selling vehicles in California. I think I hit that point enough, which is what Matt was responding to here. And he brought to light another discussion that he had with John Ingle. So let's click through here and take a look at this gem for Tesla Historian. Matt says, "Fudster Almington Cap fails at basic financial statement analysis in his article, but says he'd consider a correction if someone can spell it out for him. When I do, he changes his mind in the least compelling way possible." So let's look at these screenshots. Matt tried to help John out here. You've got to be kidding me. If you take away credits, Tesla was still profitable, you have to tax affect those revenues. How are guys like this still putting this crap out? After which Almington Cap was tagged, and Matt asked, will you be issuing a correction? John asked, why should I? Not understanding the point. So Matt spells it out for him. You have to subtract credits from earnings before tax, then tax affect them. You can't simply subtract a revenue line from net income. If you do it the right way, Tesla would have posted a profit. So what's Matt saying here? I'll break it down for you as simply as I can. You can't just take bottom line after-tax earnings and then subtract the most profitable kind of revenue from that and say that that's a valid number, because it isn't. Tesla already paid taxes on that revenue, right? So you have to correct for that as well. You have to back out the taxes that Tesla would not have paid had they not made the revenue. That's what Matt's saying here. So what's this next screenshot? Same starting point as the ending point we just left. John says, you are welcome to elaborate with your math. If I find it compelling, I'll consider correcting the article. So John's still not getting the point of what the correction Matt's trying to hammer home here. So here it is spelled out. Earnings before tax were $555 million. So Tesla would have had $158 million in pre-tax earnings without credits, or roughly $100 million of net income. Will you be issuing a correction? And John says, nah. So Matt asks, care to elaborate why? And John replies, not especially. So John says he's willing to accept a correction if he's gotten anything wrong. Matt shows him exactly what he got wrong, and he refuses to correct the article anyway, even though he's obviously wrong there. So here's my link to episode 1. We may never see Tesla Model 3 for the masses, covering John's article that we just saw. So that was that tweet. Let me see if I'm back yet. I'm not all the way back yet. Okay, here we are. Forstall, at Forstall_ on Twitter, tweeted, this is my favorite one, in regard to Matt's interaction with John Engel, just not especially wishing to elaborate on why he refuses to correct his article. Because it would make his article directionally wrong, is why, right? Let's not kid ourselves. That's the reason why John didn't correct it. He would have been wrong on the entire point he was making, if he had. Okay, here's a tweet from @Varbmos on Twitter. How long have you been banging the no-demand drum? How long are you going to be embarrassingly wrong? Replying to @DoBackHuff Inc., claiming demand has already plateaued and will shrink as dozens of cheaper EVs continue to come online, already happening. Focus on the backlog. So here we have some screenshots of this same account from 2020. Unlimited demand in China, oh wait. No demand, another one from 2020. More factories should help with the demand problem. So there's a demand problem in 2020 apparently. They wouldn't lay the line workers off to do a model upgrade. Workers would be part of the line changes. This is nothing more than lack of demand and saving money before reporting Q4 numbers. This shutdown will be longer than 18 days. So a whole bunch of wrong tweets from DoBackHuff back there in 2020 before Tesla hit record delivery numbers in, 6 of the following 7 quarters, or what have you. So that was that thread that I like to tweet in. We got another one from Tesla Historian that I liked here. 2 years ago, Tesla was down 21%, and short sellers like Patrick Comack were thrilled for a few days. So here's some tweets that I will not read from Patrick Comack, who was happy for a short period of time and then unhappy when Tesla stock continued to run up for a long period of time afterwards. Next, a tweet from Sawyer Merritt at Sawyer Merritt on Twitter. There have now been 8 separate Tesla virtual power plant events in California in the last 9 days, with thousands of Tesla Powerwall owners sending power back to the grid during peak stress hours, helping to prevent blackouts. This program is just getting started too, so he's retweeting somebody here who sent 35 kilowatt hours of electricity back to the grid during a virtual power plant event, for a total of 255 kilowatt hours during the heat wave, and being compensated $510 for participating in that program. So what happens here is sometimes there's too much strain on the power grid and not enough electricity for the demand. So people who have power walls in their home that they've been saving up solar energy into for future use are able to help the grid, stabilize the grid, by selling power back to the grid when it's at its highest price, and then recharging those batteries later with more solar power once the grid has stabilized. So good to read about that. Next, a tweet here from at Berlinergy on Twitter. Bloomberg, Tesla Inc. is plotting a potential lithium refinery on the Gulf Coast of Texas. The state, it is considering constructing a battery-grade lithium hydroxide refining facility in Nueces County, which it has pitched as the first of its kind in North America. So Tesla may be refining lithium in the same state where Tesla's headquarters is now located in Austin, Texas. So this is good news for a key component of battery production, lithium. All right. And another tweet from Berlinergy here. Tesla Nevada, new leadership records and goals, plus Fremont news. Fremont now able to make 12,000 cars per week and is aiming for 14,000 per week as its next goal. And August was a record month. Nevada, 283,000 powertrains feeding Fremont and Austin. So some good scoops here in this thread from Berlinergy. I didn't go through and like all of them, but you can go check these out and get the latest leaked scoop on how Tesla is doing in North America, anyway. Here's a tweet from Warren Redlick. Giga Orlando, hear me out. Elon likes to put factories in cities where people want to be. Florida is growing fast because people are moving here. No state income tax, freest economy in the country. Elon loves Governor Ron DeSantis. Orlando is 1 hour from SpaceX and Cape Canaveral. So, fun little tweet here with an idea from Warren Redlick on where a future gigafactory could be located. Now, maybe I'm just biased because I live in Florida, but that would be fun to have a big Tesla gigafactory in Florida. Next, we have a tweet from Bradford Ferguson at Brad S. Ferguson on Twitter. Warren, Troy's Patreon is worth a subscribe. It's very detailed work. He made adjustments. What are we replying to here? Another tweet from Warren with a concern about Troy's forecast, underestimating Fremont. But what Troy does is post his latest forecasts to Patreon, and then he makes those public a week later. I do the same thing with some of my videos. I post them to Patreon the same day that I record them, and then I make them public a week later, or however much later works for the pacing of YouTube. YouTube penalizes you for making more than one video public per day. So like in my forecast review series, I can't make all of those public the same day because YouTube would only promote the most recently uploaded one of those videos, and it would only promote it for 12 hours, and then that would be it. And none of those videos would get seen. They would die in obscurity without ever having been recommended by YouTube. So the way they want you to do it is to space them out and publish one per day, which is what I've been doing. So if you don't support Troy, I support Troy on Patreon, and Rob Maurer, and let's see, Brian from Tesla Podcast, 4K Podcast, My Tesla Weekend, and Ryan McCaffrey. I find all of their work really valuable and helpful, and support them on Patreon. So, yeah, I agree with what Bradford said here. Troy is putting in a ton of work that I find valuable. So I support him, and you should consider doing the same. And the last tweet of the week that I liked came from Alexandra Mertz again. Anything as long as you like my tweet and I figure in the next weekly video. So what are we talking about here? This is me today being salty. We have Steph Curry here applying liberal amounts of granulated salt. And that's what I was doing in this most recent tweet, part 12 of my Tesla Forecast Review video series, where I go through, in about a half-hour-long video, describing the process that I go through to forecast Tesla's cost of sales. Do I just say it's going to be 50% and then tweet that Tesla is going to report 50% gross margins, and then wish and hope, and then host a Twitter space about it every day? No, I do not. So if you want to know what my process is, this video, part 12, is available in that Forecast Review video series. And that brings me to the end of this week's James's Gems of the Week. So with that, I will say, if you've enjoyed today's video, click the like button, let YouTube know that you liked this video, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, probably if you've watched the video this far, you should be subscribed to my channel. You can click the alert bell if you want to get alerts. I mentioned my Patreon page way too much, but I never run any ads on this channel or take any sponsors, so hopefully that improves your viewing experience. And I will see you in the next one.